And yes, like I did say, we have quite a number of things we're going to be looking at today that will form the basis of a conversation throughout the week. And we'll start off with Governor Mbaz signing of the executive order creating new urban areas in Enugu. Recall that Governor Peter Ndubisi Mba of Enugu State on Thursday actually signed an executive order #1 designating some areas in the state as urban areas as well as the Land Use Regulation 2025. Mba reportedly exercised his powers under the Land Use Act of 1978. Now the question that comes to mind is, what effect will this have on the business landscape of Enugu State? Let's look at this particular report as put together by Ebonyi People TV.
Now, Governor Peter Mba has signed two important documents for the year 2025, the Land Use Regulation 2025 and Executive Order #1 2025. This document officially designates certain parts of Enugu State as urban areas. Now, those places that you used to see as rural areas, now they are no longer rural areas, they are now designated as urban areas. Areas like the Enugu East, Enugu North, Enugu South, Udi, Nkanu West, Nkanu East, and even Usuka. In addition, special parts of other local government areas such as Aniri, Ogu, Eziagu, Igwe-Etiti, Igwe-Eze North, Igwe-Eze South, Isuzo, Oji River, Udenu, and Uzo-Wani have also been designated as urban areas. This is a major shift and it comes with lots of benefits for the people of Enugu. Governor Peter's vision is very simple: to make land transactions in Enugu State very, very transparent, efficient, and corruption-free. Land issues have always been a bit tricky, not just in Enugu State, all over, with stories of hidden charges, double allocations, and even land grabbing. Well, all that is about to change under this new system. Like, there is a new sheriff in town, so everybody just have to respect his or herself. With this new regulation, 1, no more hidden charges. Yes, every fee related to land transactions will now be clear and open. You won't have to worry about paying extra or being scammed. 2, no more double allocations. In the past, before now, there have been cases where 2 or more people were allocated the same piece of land. This will no longer happen. 3, streamlined processes. All applications for land titles, including certificates of occupancy, also known as the C of O, will follow a clear timeline. No more unnecessary delays or red tape. Another fantastic thing that ties into this is the recently launched Enugu State's Geographic Information System. This system is designed to make land transactions digital and efficient. Think of it as a one-stop shop for all your land-related needs. With this system, you can now apply for land titles and administrative processes online. Get a clear breakdown of fees and timelines for your applications. Avoid any middlemen or unnecessary bureaucracy. If you live in any of the newly designated urban areas, there's some good news. You can now apply for your certificate of occupancy. This document is a proof that you legally own your land, and it comes with several advantages: property security, economic value, ease of business. This initiative isn't just about land, it's about boosting Enugu State economy by making land transactions smooth and transparent. The government is creating an environment where businesses can thrive. Investors, both locally and internationally, will find it easier to set up operations in the state without fear of anything, creating jobs and opportunities for Ndi Enugu. Governor Peter Mba has said that this administration is committed to fostering ease of doing business, and this is a solid step in that direction. Now, you might be wondering how you'll get all the details about these changes. Don't worry, the government has assured that there will be extensive public awareness campaigns. Ndi Enugu will be educated about these new processes to ensure that everyone understands what's happening and how to benefit from it. Governor Peter Mba's actions show his commitment to transforming Enugu State into a modern, progressive place where anyone can thrive. With initiatives like the Land Use Regulation 2025, the future is looking bright.
Now that's just an overview, and what I intend doing in the course of the week, we're going to look at that subject. And yet another conversation I intend having will be around the anticipated increase in airtime tariffs. Recall that the Minister of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy, Bosun Tijani, had confirmed plans to increase telecoms tariffs. He, however, assured that it would not be a 100% increase, as telecoms firms have proposed Chief Executive Officer of Financial Derivatives, Basma Gurwani, has also said he expects that the proposed tariff hike by telecoms companies would be between 40 and 50%. Anyway, let's take a look at this report that captures the story in detail as put together by TVC.
According to data from experts in the telecommunications sector, in January 2024, Nigeria accounted for over 205 million mobile connections, which makes up about 91% of the country's population. More data from November in the same year shows that the average daily consumption of data in Nigeria is 336 gigabytes per second, which is 39% increase from previous years. Despite this high use, telecommunication companies still face challenges ranging from inability to expand infrastructure, which is crucial for high-speed internet and seamless connectivity. With this, most telecommunication companies struggle to maintain the business. Stakeholders in the sector have now decided to meet the Minister of Communications in order to address these issues. The leaders want 100% increase on tariffs so they can meet up with global best practices.
We're also going to operate with a higher level of transparency. So when we do see these tariff modifications, it's also going to come with simplification. So every MNO.
The minister disclosed that the federal government aims to use the sector to boost the nation's economy.
How do we ensure that this sector can meaningfully continue to contribute to the development of Nigeria? So some of those things include implementing the executive order around ensuring that we can protect infrastructure, telecommunications infrastructure in the country, driving up significantly local content, but I think most importantly as well as ensuring the sustainability of the companies as well.
The minister also explained that with the increments of tariff, telecom companies will be able to cover remote area for connectivity.
So there are people that are responsible for ensuring that we have the right investment in the infrastructure that is powering your ability to use those connectivity. And the goal of Mr. President is to ensure that we continue to deepen those infrastructure, because you can't have a robust economy that doesn't have infrastructure.
TVC News went out to the streets to find out what residents think about the hike.
For the youths now, the most important thing that is sustaining them in this, able to subscribe their phones, doing other things that will yield their income.
It will affect us as the common people. So for me, as a person, it's not good. They should really look into the issue.
Government, if there's anything you can do to bring this down, I'm speaking on behalf of people. I know I'm speaking the mind of people right now. Please bring this down.
They say tax, implementation of tax. That policy is Western, is European policy.
For such amount of tariff to pay, that kind of amount to pay for data bundles to promote their businesses and run adverts, is really outrageous.
Some residents see the increase as unusual. Others welcome the idea as an improvement of services.
The cost of transmission will go up. So it's more or less a private organization again. They need their profits to run it.
The federal government has urged Nigerians to...
Oh, well, those are some of the conversations we'll be having in the course of the week. But then again, just so you know, we'll take a break right now. When we come back, we'll look at other things that we're going to be doing in the course of the week. And by the way, in case you're just joining in, you are watching the Eastern Business Report live from Enugu State, Nigeria. After this time out, more of the conversations for the week coming your way. Please stay. You're welcome back, and you're still watching the Eastern Business Report live from Enugu State, Nigeria. And you could kindly join in on the conversation and watching live right now on our dedicated Afia Business YouTube channel. You may want to type in the search bar www.youtube.com/Afia Business. While you're there, remember you should like and of course subscribe so you get notifications and all business related content coming to you from Afia TV. Welcome back. I am still Ubon Kings, and I just shared with you two things that some of the conversations we're going to be having in the course of this week. The first would be, of course, the governor's executive order and all of that, and with regards to land use, etc. And the other definitely has to do with pricing, tariff pricing. Those two things, very key things that we're going to be looking at this in the course of this week. And away from that, also. Another key conversation I would like to expatiate on in the course of this week will be about the Nigerian power sector. I know we've flogged this issue over time, but the truth of the matter is, it is really disheartening to find out that the Nigerian power sector has stagnated over a period of time at 4,500 megawatts, despite $3.23 billion worth of loans. Story has it that Nigeria's electricity generation has continued to hover around the average of 4,500 megawatts, despite the country securing loans totaling over $3.23 billion in about 4 years from international financial institutions. But many parts of Nigeria still suffer in sales and blackouts. Now, this fund were approved to finance various projects to address the country's electricity challenges and improve access to reliable power supply. However, power generation in the country has persistently, underline that, persistently hovered around 4,500 megawatts for a population of over 200 million people. However, Sahara TV took out the time to look at this particular issue and now reports.
Nigeria, country blessed with abundant natural resources, yet its citizens live in darkness. Now, picture 1.5 trillion naira, enough money to light up an entire nation, vanishing into thin air. Welcome to Nigeria, where corruption in the power sector has orchestrated the greatest heist of the people's future, leaving 200 million souls fumbling in the dark. We're about to uncover the shocking details of a scandal so massive, it could have powered Nigeria into the future. Instead, it plunged the nation deeper into darkness. But first, let's shed some light on Nigeria's power predicament. In a country where having 12 hours of electricity feels like winning the lottery, how did we get here? Nigeria, the giant of Africa, has been wrestling with its power demons for decades. It's a tale as old as the country itself, a nation rich in oil and gas, yet unable to keep its lights on. The irony is as thick as the smoke from millions of generators choking the air in cities across the country. Picture this, it's 2023, and Nigeria, with its population of over 200 million, generates less electricity than Edinburgh, a city of less than 500,000 people. Let that sink in for a moment. The consequences? Businesses are crippled, hospitals operate in fear, and students study by candlelight. It's estimated that Nigeria loses $29 billion annually due to unreliable electricity. That's about 2% of its GDP going up in smoke, or should we say, darkness? But here's where the plot thickens. In a country desperate for power, how did 1.5 trillion naira, meant to illuminate the nation, enter the greatest magic trick in Nigerian history? A vanishing act of 1.5 trillion naira. This isn't your everyday corruption. This is grand larceny on a national scale. Here's how the trick was pulled off. First, we have the classic inflated contract trick. Contracts for power projects were allegedly pumped up like balloons at a children's party. The difference? These balloons were filled with cash, not air, and they floated right into private pockets. Next, we have the ghost project illusion. Imagine paying for a power plant that exists only on paper. That's right, billions were allegedly allocated to projects that were about as real as a Nigerian prince's email promises. But wait, there's more. The Payment for Invisible Services Act saw funds released for services that were never rendered. It's like paying for a haircut and walking out balder than when you went in. And the grand finale? The collusion constellation, where government officials, power sector executives, and contractors allegedly joined hands in a corrupt cosmic dance, ensuring that the money kept flowing, just not where it was meant to go. The result? A 1.5 trillion naira black hole, sucking in the hopes and dreams of millions of Nigerians yearning for a brighter future. Consequences of this monumental fraud are as far-reaching as the darkness it has caused. Let's break it down. Imagine trying to run a business when your power supply is as reliable as a politician's promise. That's the reality for millions of Nigerian entrepreneurs. The result? Economic stagnation that's holding back Africa's largest economy. Now picture a hospital where life-saving equipment sits idle, waiting for power. Or a student trying to study for exams by the flickering light of a kerosene lamp. This is the daily reality for many Nigerians. Cost of living has skyrocketed as people spend a fortune on fuel for generators. It's like paying for electricity twice, once through your bills and again through your generator. And let's not forget the social unrest. The frustration of living in darkness has fueled protests and unrest across the nation. Turns out, people tend to get a bit cranky when they can't even charge their phones reliably. But here's the kicker. That 1.5 trillion naira could have changed everything. Could have expanded power generation, improved distribution networks, maybe even subsidized electricity for the poorest. Instead, it vanished faster than ice cream in the Sahara. So what's being done about this lights-out situation? Well, the government hasn't been entirely asleep at the switch. There have been attempts at privatization, market reforms, and setting up anti-corruption agencies. But so far, these efforts have been about as effective as using a candle to light up a football stadium. Tackling this deep-rooted corruption will require more than just flipping a switch. We're talking about strengthening anti-corruption institutions, promoting transparency, investing in skilled professionals to manage the sector, and encouraging citizens to shine a light on corrupt practices. It's a long road ahead, but remember, even the darkest night will end and the sun will rise. The question is, will Nigeria's power sector see the light before the patience of its people runs out? And in a country blessed with abundant energy resources, how long will Nigerians continue to live in manufactured darkness?
Oh well, we'll take a look at this conversation as well as other conversations in the course of this week. And I dare say on that note that this will be the size of the package on the Eastern Business Report. Join us on our social, beg your pardon, on YouTube more specifically, by going to www.youtube.com/@Afia Business. While you're there, do hit the like button. Remember, you should subscribe so you get notifications on all business-related content coming to you from Afia TV. Thank you for your time once, twice, and a million more times. Coming up next is Afia. My name is Ubon Kings. Stay tuned.
Was an interesting stay. Good evening to you, viewer, and welcome to Women in Business, a show that profiles women, executives, and even the next door store owner, showcasing Igbo greatness to the world.
I started always obsessed with books ever since I was a child.
The stress of always converting naira to dollar and
an incompetent means an incompetent person.
name is Ubon Kings.
I am Marvelous Apamaga. I am Chioma Bakbala.
My name is Ifulaya Ndule, but I'm living in a market speaking.
What are your thoughts on the spate of sex for grades in Nigerian universities?
This very issue of pulling salary should be criminalized.
How can they amplify their voices?
People don't have evidence. You want to get to know about it? Have to stay tuned right here on Afia Morning Show to get the pulse and the feel of that.
Join us on Ghana Plus every Wednesday at 6 p.m. right here on Afia TV, DSTV channel 254, and GoTV channel 17, where we will delve into health issues affecting girls and women in society.
Breastfeeding doesn't even cause breastfeeding. The frequency of breastfeeding determines the approach you take to make sure that your well-being is maintained.
Welcome to the latest and most amazing show on here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lunch Break.
You don't sing along.
I did single. For real.
You're not a backup singer.
That's what they do.
Week and another opportunity for us to gist and need to tell you, bring all the spice, all the things that are hot, trending and exclusive on social media. Sometimes I know there's constructive criticism. I know that you know how to quote it. So for the people that don't understand, I want to be like, oh, why are you doing this?
Please, I'm not a cross-dresser. I'm only doing this because of the money.
Hello, welcome Afia to the Afia podcast, where we talk about trade and the lifestyle of a hustler. My name is Harald Chelo, and today in the studio, I have someone I look up to personally. With me in the studio today is Mr. Frank Nweke Jr. No, Daddy. No.
Well, no,
I don't know. I don't know. You're looking good.
Well, yeah. Thank you. You look good too.
Thank you. Stop it. Thank you. Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir. Please introduce yourself. For people, everybody could say water, but some people are daddy and how am I big yet? Who are you exactly, sir?
Okay, Afambo Frank Nweke Jr. More about the gubernatorial candidate of All Progressive Grand Alliance.
Definitely.
Yes.
Is that all? You know, I know that I read a lot about you. Uh-huh. I did read a lot about you. Uh-huh. You know, I read about your education at Harvard. I read about your previous experience as a minister. You don't want to tell us that one.
I'm not interested in this kind
just the motivators.
Interested.
They are not exclusive now. They're still
okay. I'm not HR. Okay, can go on. So I'm Frank Nweke Jr. I'm in Kano West area of Enugu State. Alugo Molo Dichiche had various positions, starting as one-time consultant to government on economic affairs in Enugu State between 1999 and then I think 2000, 2001. Then Mese Welowa, chief of staff to the government of Enugu State Well, chief of staff for about 2 years before I made my point. Minister, first of all, Minister for Intergovernmental Affairs and Special Duties, and then subsequently as Minister for Intergovernmental Affairs, Youth Development and Special Duties. And after that, I became Minister for Information and National Orientation. And then Alusia and Kafo, Minister for Information and Communication. Eba kalu the government we go. Okay, government was there.
Never get the line or people know a lot of me when they take another one.
So Luchaze okay government was there. Moma jebeze na cheze akwụkwọ n'obodo Igbo. Weje University na Harvard University